Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Gamera the Brave, a Japanese kaiju film from 2006. Right from the start, it's important to note that the story in this installment does not connect with the Gamera trilogy from the 1990s. So if you're expecting a continuation from that trilogy, you're not going to get that here. This film actually begins in 1973 and shows Gamera as he self-destructs for the purpose of destroying 3 Gyaos monsters. We then fast forward 33 years later, in 2006, when the son of one of the survivors of that incident finds an unusual egg, from which a baby turtle hatches, of course. The boy, named Toru, raises the turtle, quickly realizing that it is quite remarkable because it can hover in the air and breathe fire. Now the turtle begins growing in size at an exponential pace, so Toru and his friends move it to a secret hiding place in the woods. Unfortunately, many shipping disasters occur in that area, the cause of which is the kaiju Zedus, which subsequently rampages throughout the city, of course. It corners Toru and his friends, but the boy's former pet, now significantly larger, intercedes. Now the story and characters in Gamera the Brave are pretty good. They're pretty good, in my opinion. This is more of a cute film, overall, with lots of family-friendly interaction and shenanigans between the little boy and his turtle. None of the children were recognizable actors to me, with one big exception. Kaho is the teenage girl next door. You'll be familiar with this actress if you've seen Puzzle from 2014, Our Little Sister from 2015, or Tokyo Vampire Hotel from 2017. I had no idea that she was in this movie, so I was shocked when I recognized her. Gamera the Brave was actually her feature film debut, which is quite interesting and unexpected. I had the same aha moment when I recognized Hikari Mitsushima in Rebirth of Mothra 2 back in the day, which was her feature film debut. So it's always fun to see an actor I really like in one of their earliest roles, because I get to see their development before they really got to be popular and successful. The script writing in Gamera the Brave definitely stays focused on Gamera's relationship with children, even during the monster battles. And we've seen this before in prior installments in the series, in this franchise, but I must say that there is one lengthy sequence in this film in particular, during the finale, that's one of the better scenes involving children in a kaiju film that I've seen. I won't tell you exactly what happens, but what I will say is that it establishes a very strong sense of unity among children who do not even know one another. And I'll just leave it at that. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the film, or if you've seen it already. I first saw this film years ago, and that's the scene that I remember the most from everything else in the film. It's a really cool scene. In terms of monster design, Gamera looks pretty cheesy most of the time. Not really that impressive, unfortunately. He's got these huge eyeballs that look really freaking fake. If you've ever seen a doll with big eyeballs and they're just like glassy and plastic, that's what he looks like in this movie. So this is definitely a downgrade from the suit that was used in the Gamera trilogy from the 90s. However, the bad guy monster, Zedus, shows up near the midpoint, and actually, he looks pretty cool. Definitely a lot better than Gamera in this film. I like the physical effects that were used for him, and he even eats a handful of people at one point, which is always welcome. Now, in terms of the battles themselves, they're pretty good. There's a short sequence on a bridge near the midpoint. That's probably my favorite fight of the whole film because it uses some strategies that, I've never really seen before in a giant monster film. So props to the filmmakers for using some creativity during that scene. The battle near the end is not as good as either the scene in the midsection of the film, or any of the scenes really in the Gamera films from the 90s. Due mostly to its simplicity, but like I said, that sequence involving the kids that's near the end of the film definitely helps to make that scene satisfying. I'll say that much. In terms of action, there's really nothing here that's going to blow your mind in terms of kaiju films, but I did find it to be moderately entertaining and successful. Gamera the Brave was directed by Ryuta Sasaki, a man who has contributed a ton of Kamen Rider television series and movies, none of which I've seen personally. In terms of kaiju films, this guy is not on the same level as someone like a Shuzuke Kaneko, but I thought he did a good job with his camera work and handling of the actors. And a fun fact is that much of the film takes place in Nagoya. And I like how some of these kaiju films avoid Tokyo during the most important moments, because it's a bit different. You know, set the mayhem in a few different cities in Japan, you know what I mean? And remember, the finale of Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris, was in Kyoto, for example. So I'd like to see this franchise kind of mixes up a little bit. You know, the mayhem doesn't always happen in Tokyo, so that's good. But overall, I do recommend Gamera the Brave. I think it's a good movie. You know, it's not as impressive as the Gamera films from the 90s. It isn't. So if you have not seen those, make them your priority. But after you accomplish that task, you know, check out Gamera the Brave. It's pretty good. It's a good flick, and it's widely available in the United States. And as always, I'll see you next time.